The back door. That's how they made this a locked room mystery.
Mm-hmm.
The back door had a sliding lock, yes? How was it locked from the outside?
The culprit used a certain tool.
The tool that the culprit used to lock the sliding lock from the outside was... Oh! I forget this game. Okay, this looks like a pole. Oh, the sheath. Right, I think we talked about that. No, it wasn't a sheath. I thought that's what they had talked about, though. Then was it the katana? No, it's just a sword. Okay.
I see it!
The gold leaf katana that was stabbed into Kaede's effigy. The culprit used that to hit the knob of the sliding lock to lock the door.
So the gold leaf was on the sliding lock
Because when the katana hit the lock, some of the gold leaf rubbed off on it. The gold leaf on that katana did peel rather easily.
It's true.
That evidence rings a bell. Specifically, a school bell.
Huh? Are you talking about a different school? What school was it?
Well, that was Hope's Peak Academy, the original one.
Now, that doesn't matter anymore. Let's not dwell.
Specifically, the prologue.
Ooh, the gold leaf landed on the sliding lock when the katana touched it. So that means the culprit used the katana to move the sliding lock, right? But wait, how did they move it with the katana? And from outside Angie's lab?
That's why they stabbed it in the statue and why it's hanging from the ceiling, so they could twist it around and close the door real quickly and the rope would immediately flip it back. I get it
The
now.
clue that might give us the answer is the layout of the area
Yeah,
itself.
because Kaede was the closest to the door.
It was an odd setup after all.
It was an odd setup. Is that the whole reason they put all of them hanging up, to hide that one fact?
The katana stabbed into the effigy. The effigies hung upside down.
Yeah, that would explain a lot.
Angie didn't do that as part of the ritual?
It didn't make sense. It wasn't in the book.
No. Nowhere in the Necronomicon did it say you had to hang the effigies.
No, not at all.
If it was not part of the ritual, then it must have been for a different purpose, right?
Mm-hmm. A different purpose. What could that have been? The culprit somehow used this setup to lock the room. In that case, I need to know the reason behind every step of that setup. We gonna do some crazy taxi up in here? If I do that, the way the culprit locked the room should be clear. Yep, we're doing some crazy taxi. See if I can remember these controls. It's a good way to practice your driving. Just pick up some words while you're doing it. Oh, I missed two. Oh, geez, I missed four. Now let's try that again. Okay. What turned the handle of the sliding lock? That was the katana hilt. Good. Yeah, I got this locked room under wraps now. Now that Shuichi explained part of it, it's all coming together. It seems like a small road. Whoops, missed one. Ooh. Two more. Alright, I just need one more. Ow. Got it. Thinking time. And the answer is, what was done to make the katana turn the lock? Stabbed into the effigy. And now for the one thing that we really haven't been told yet, but I'm assuming is how did that happen? And that's because of the rope. Rope likes to untwist itself, you see? Which means we could have literally... It could have still been Kokichi. Because he literally came from that direction. He could have just killed Anji. No, wait. She was killed at 2 AM, so it couldn't have been him. He could have already been in the room and figured all of this out ahead of time. How was the FG manipulated to make the katana affect the lock? It was twisted. Let's see what the exact words they want are. Swung back and forth, making it fall, spinning it. I would say spinning it. Yas! Got you. Got your number. It all makes sense now.
That's it. The reason the culprit stuck the katana into the effigy was so that it would hit the sliding lock as the effigy spun.
Mm-hmm.
Effigy spun?
That's right. If you spun the effigy, the rope it was hanging from would twist. Then, if you let it go, the rope would unwind and the effigy would spin the other way. And of course, the katana would spin with it.
That would take some high level, like, IQ to get that right at the right level.
The culprit used the katana's counterspin to push the lock into place?
And to get the blade at the right level, like, stabbed in. And not only that, but, like, there's gonna be some waving from all of that spinning as well. That was a bit of luck on there. I mean, I assume they waited until the lock actually clicked, but still.
The culprit simply needed to spin the effigy's rope and then swiftly leave.
Mm-hmm.
This would cause the spinning katana to hit the sliding lock.
Mm-hmm.
And thus was the back door of an empty classroom locked from the inside.
Yes, that's how Angie's lab was locked.
Mm-hmm.
By using the effigy with the katana.
A plan born from the heart of a sword traveling through the air to intercept us.
Samugi, you're making this a lot more romantic than it needs to be. Or should be.
Oh, but could it have moved the slide lock so easily?
Yeah, I already checked that. It's very easy to move.
The sliding lock was pretty loose. A little push could move it.
Mm-hmm. Also, if you spun that thing up, it would be going at a decent click, depending on how much you spun the rope.
As long as the spinning katana hit the lock, it would have slid into position.
Even if the culprit failed the first couple times, they could keep trying until it locked.
Yeah, they had all night to do it.
Which is why the culprit chose to strike at nighttime, as to avoid detection.
Yes, since the student council prohibited anyone from walking around at nighttime.
Didn't Himiko say that she was there all night? No, I think she rushed to it in the morning. I can't remember.
Are you saying it's the student council's fault?
I mean, not necessarily.
I didn't say that.
In any case, the culprit probably used the murder weapon for this trick. It had to have been the right length to hit the sliding lock from the effigy.
The culprit couldn't find a blade long enough in my lab, so they settled for the katana.
The other effigies were only hung up so we'd think it was some kind of ceremony.
Yeah, just to throw you off the trail.
That way, we wouldn't notice the lock trick.
But Kokichi did say earlier that he could have picked the lock closed. I don't want to completely ignore that possibility. But I can't imagine the culprit would have done all this just for a distraction.
Yeah, it feels clear that it's not Kokichi, because why would he bother doing that?
If that's the case, then Kokichi's confession earlier was actually...
Kibo, how have you not learned to not trust the words that come out of Kokichi's
Seriously?
face?
You fucking lied again?
That's all he knows how to do!
Cough it up, Kokichi!
Oh, man. You guys got me. Okay, I'm not the culprit.
You're telling the truth this time, right?
You still may have killed someone.
I want to say I'm lying, but I'm not.
Why did you say you were the culprit?
Because he was bored. It's what he does when he's bored.
I wanted to lure the culprit out.
See, I thought it had something, like, usually he does this sort of thing so that you lower your guard around him.
If I claim to be the culprit, then the real culprit would agree as well. You get me?
So who's the first person to agree that you were the culprit?
And if they pressured me to confess, then that would have looked mighty suspicious. Sheesh. Darn it. It didn't go my way because Shuichi butted in on my plan.
You and your fucking lies! Go sit in the corner and play with yourself!
Okay, I'll start right now.
Alright, so who's the asshole who set up this locked room mystery?
Well, we can narrow it down to 2 less people. It wasn't Kokichi or Shuichi.
Mew, I can't hold it up anymore.
What?
What's the matter? You going soft on me now?
The fuck are you two talking about?
Who made the locked room mystery doesn't matter, since anyone could have done it.
But who could have gotten into the room is a better question.
Don't you even understand something as basic as that, you filthy cum dumpster?
Wow!
Cum dumpster! Finally! Someone finally called me a cum dumpster!
What should we talk about now?
Kunta, get us out of here.
We must focus not on the locked room, but on who entered Angie's lab.
Yeah, exactly. Who entered? Who could have entered?
Only one of the student council members or Kokichi could have gained entry.
As far as we know.
Therefore, the culprit must be among their number.
That leaves us with 4 suspects.
5
Tsurugi,
suspects.
Gonta, Kibo, and Kokichi.
We can't outrule Tenko.
Don't forget Himiko. She's also a part of the student council. Doesn't matter if she was besties
6
with Angie,
then.
she's still a suspect.
Yeah, exactly.
That contradicts what you said earlier, which I can prove using my recording function.
He was lying!
It's fine. That's just a waste of time.
A suspect?
Yeah, actually. Number 1 suspect in my eyes.
Never kill
So, calling all suspects, what should we discuss next?
I feel like she was trying to force emotion there because we know that she can't emote.
I want to hear everyone's opinion. What would you say to get yourself off the suspect list?
Alright.
Why are you trying to lead the debate? You're a suspect too.
I mean, half of us are a suspect. Someone has to lead the debate.
Silence, outsider. Only the suspect rangers are allowed to speak.
Suspect ranger.
Suspect Rangers?
Thank you.
I agree. Those under suspicion should explain themselves thoroughly.
Yeah, I agree as well.
We might catch them with their pants down.
You're not wearing pants, Mia.
Anyway, I want to ask the suspect rangers, what should we talk about? What should we say to get ourselves off the suspect list? Well, guys, I want to hear what you think.
That's sort of a difficult question, you know?
It's interesting that he's opening that up. That's a really good way to get someone to implicate themselves. He's actually really good at this, what is that, prosecuting?
Gonta not smart enough to know answer to that.
That's fair.
Yes, it is difficult to formulate a logical response to that question.
Okay.
Not articulate with words, huh? Don't you guys want to prove your innocence?
They don't trust you one bit, and I don't blame them. You're probably plotting.
Why did Tenko have to die?
Huh?
I want to know what happened to Angie too, but... Can we talk about Tenko's case now and not just Angie's?
I got you exactly where I wanted, Himiko.
What do you mean?
The two victims could have been killed by two separate murderers, you know. So we need to find the first Blackened responsible for the first victim. We gotta figure out who killed Angie. Until we solve Angie's case, Tenko's case is meaningless. Did you suggest that to waste our time?
It's not meaningless!
Himiko.
Tenko's death was meaningless? How dare you! Poor Tenko! How could you do this to her? Himiko...
Himiko, stop it with your crappy lies.
Lies?
Everything you said is total BS. You didn't give two shits about Tenko when she was alive. But now you're like, oh no, poor Tenko, after she's dead. Come on, really?
Kokichi, enough!
He's not wrong.
No. It's okay. It's no surprise he'd think that. I know I ignored Tenko before. That's why I'm so upset now. I should have faced Tenko. Worked things out with her while she was still alive. But now, it's too late. I can't complain to her or thank her. It's too late.
Yeah, seriously. It's way too late to realize that now. Our only option is to face her death head on.
Yeah. Face her death?
Himiko, I understand what you're going through. So I'm gonna help you out. Let's work together to find the truth. I'm not gonna let anyone say her death didn't matter.
Kaito. Alright. I'll put a silencing curse on whoever calls Tenko's death meaningless. The name of the curse is... Death Curse! I suppose being dead would silence someone pretty good.
Yeah, killing someone usually makes them pretty quiet.
Listen up! All you guys are gonna help out too. Abandoning someone who died and only thinking about your own survival. That's just as bad as a hit and run! I won't forgive something so messed up!
Yeah?
Tenko was our friend. Gonta wanna know why she died too.
I already told you that's so unnecessary. We're getting sidetracked here.
He's not technically wrong, unfortunately.
No, even if it was a different culprit, we need to know how Tenko died. If If we don't find out who killed her, we won't be able to work together. Not now, not ever. Even if this trial isn't for her, in order for us to survive, we need to get to the bottom of Tenko's death. Not just to survive this trial, but so we can keep going and live on!
Kaito.
Finally, you noticed. Jeez, you're so slow.
Huh? Did Kokichi want us to notice?
Don't listen to his crap. We haven't decided whether there were two different culprits yet.
Let us talk about Tenko's case then. Perhaps that will provide us a clue.
Yeah, maybe.
They're not wrong, but I don't mind going over Tenko's case. That was an abrupt change of topic. Was that intentional?
So, what do we talk about first?
For now, let's see if we can narrow down the list of suspects.
Tancrotch probably got killed during the seance, so everyone there's suspicious.
No, not necessarily. It's more likely that someone outside.
Tancrotch!
The people who attended the seance. That was Kyo, Shuichi, Himiko, and Kokichi. Yeah, it was those four.
That's it!
And Tenko.
It was me, Kyo, Himiko, and Kokichi.
So those four are the culprits!
Miyu, you're fucking bad at this.
Oh, Himiko's still culprit?
Well, that's probably just a coinkydink. The most suspicious out of the four is really Kyo. He suggested the whole seance idea.
True, I may have suggested it, but I explained the procedure beforehand, yes? If we all knew of it before the murder, then we are all equally suspicious.
And besides all of that, we were all singing in the room when the noise happened. And the noise is what definitely indicated Tenko's death.
Well, I suppose, but...
In addition,
Was it
the seance
Samugi?
wasn't entirely in my control either. I was not the one who selected the room we performed it in. It was Himiko.
Oh! That's important. That's very important, actually. Because it was only that room and one of the other rooms that was... Could she have fit in that hole? No, because she would have had to come in from outside then. Why would there be a crossbeam cut out of the... I don't think so. However, there are 3 empty rooms. Which one shall we use? The middle one. The middle room's always best for stuff like this. Very well. I shall begin the preparations at once. I don't think it could have been anyone in the seance. I really don't think it could be. Because why would there be the crossbeam cut out of the other room? They wouldn't have been able to get back in or out.
Also, we should not limit our suspects to only those who participated
No, not
in
at
the
all.
seance. The empty room had a point of entry from outside, you see.
Exactly. A point of entry from outside. He must be referring to... the floorboards under Tenko were loose. Culprit might have gone under the floor to enter. No, that's not true. There was another location that we could have...
I was wrong!
Really? If it's not the floorboard, then... What's the question? How did the culprit get in from the outside? Like, I feel like it has to be the the floorboard, but if it's not... Hmm.
I was wrong.
Whoops, I missed.
There!
Okay, so it is the hole in the ground.
You're talking about under the floor, right?
Huh? Under the floor?
Yes, there's a crawl space under the floor a person could move through.
Mm-hmm.
There was also a hole that connected it to the neighboring room.
Yeah, that's a weird... I feel like that one is a little off.
If the culprit used the hole, they could have entered and exited the seance room.
Yeah.
If we consider that possibility, then there is another suspect.
Anyone else?
Another suspect? Who?
It's appearing before me.
I'm curious.
Oh, I can see it clearly. The true identity of Tenko's killer.
I'm curious, Kyo. Who do you have in mind? Since you've seemed to narrow it down to one person, apparently.
The culprit sneaked in during the seance by crawling under the floor.
Yeah.
But it was pitch black during the seance.
Hmm.
How could they even see if they were under the floor?
Because it wasn't dark under the floor. You see, our villain had a light.
Light? You mean candle?
I mean, Kibo's flashlight function.
Hmm.
Huh? Now, hold on a second.
Kibo could have used that function to get under the floor and sneak into the empty room during the seance.
I said hold on a second.
He used his robot function.
Let me check this. A blinding light.
Seems to commit the murders.
Hold on a second.
It's true that with a little light you could move around under the floor. Is that possible?
The culprit sneaked in during the seance by crawling under the floor.
But it was pitch black during the seance. How could they even see if they were under the floor?
Because it wasn't dark under the floor. You see,
Our villain had a light.
No, you're wrong.
Wrong!
Light would have leaked into the room if that was the case.